Hi folks, Trev here, and I'm going to explain to you why I wouldn't touch GameStop shares. I wouldn't buy them or sell them, even with your money. Doesn't just apply to GameStop; it also applies to Game Digital as well. And I'm going to give you my reasoning behind a more sensible approach for long-term gains, or games in the stock market. So the first thing is GameStop 5, 10, 20 years ago, they sold computer games, physical computer games. You went in, you bought the games, and you put the game into your PC or into your Xbox or whatever it was, and you played the game. You needed that CD or that cartridge to play the game. That's not needed any longer. You probably all know this anyway, but you can now download your games. And I think this started because back in the day, you'd buy a game and the game would have a CD code, but each code would be on a PC. So your friend could use the same game with that same code on a different PC. 100 people could use it. So then a company called Valve came in, Valve Corporation, with an amazing game, if I may say so, called Half-Life. But that had to be installed on a central database with Steam, so it couldn't be used more than once. So to me, that was the nail in the coffin for Game Digital and GameStop, because it was the start of moving everything online. And now most of the games would go through a central system like Steam powered. So that's the first thing. So the question is, what does Game Digital do, or GameStop do? If you don't go in there to buy your games and you go somewhere else to buy your games, you wouldn't stay with them. So the second point is, so where would you, if you wanted to invest in, forgetting about, you know, buying and selling for a quick buck, or it's jumped up to 800 or back down to $8 or whatever it is. If you want to invest in gaming or the gaming industry, there's plenty of other positive options out there. So, for example, Microsoft owns Xbox. You have Activision Blizzard. You have EA Sports. You then have the chip makers. You have the graphics cards makers. These are all viable products and services that people pay for. And as gaming gets bigger and bigger, you need more. You need more powerful graphics cards, more powerful computers. You need PlayStation 7, 8, 9, 10. So I don't see that market going away. Some of those shares might be overpriced, or they might go up or down. But ultimately, I would rather put my money in some of those stocks or shares rather than into GameStop or into Game Digital. Just to ask as well, if you like this video and you'd like to see more content like this, please click that like button. So then you read about GameStop, and the only thing you're reading is about the share price. You don't actually read about what they're doing, how they're making money. I mean, there's a lockdown in Ireland, so you can't even go into the GameStop shops. They have all these shops that they're renting for or leasing, and they can't sell anything in them. I mean, the last time I was in a GameStop shop, the only games they had were 2 or 3 years old, and they were trying to flog them, and they were trying to, even at that, in that situation, they were trying to flog them for well over what they were worth, when you could go onto Steam and probably buy those games for $5 or $10. Then they were selling kind of little small miniature figures or toys off the characters in these computer games, which again doesn't really have anything to do with computer games. And then I was reading they were involved in AT&T, or buying AT&T stocks or shares. But if GameStop is going to do that, well then, if I really want to invest in GameStop and they're going to be investing in AT&T, I'll just put my money into AT&T. So it's just interesting to see, because the other side to it is that my view in 2016, I had a document when I started looking at possibly investing in stocks and shares on the 15th of August. I had a note to short GameStop at $31.35. And if you're asking me if I had to put money into GameStop, I'd probably short it, because it might go up to 8,000, it might go up to 80,000. But ultimately, I don't feel it's worth 80,000 or 8,000 or even 800, because I don't see how they're going to make their money. They're losing out market share to EA Sports, to other big game companies like that. They haven't moved online. They don't have this amazing website central system where you can upload and download games, or create a game and let others possibly modify that game and give it out for free and have a freemium model. So they're just really a glorified retail outlet that you can't access and that doesn't sell games anymore. So I find it hard to believe that they're worth as much as they are. So they're just my thoughts. Let me know what you think. But as I said, if it were me, and even if I was investing your money, I wouldn't touch GameStop because it might go long, and because there's a lot of money being printed and everybody is just looking to make a quick buck. You'd probably be better off going down to a roulette wheel and putting your money on black or red. Or will it go down? I think it would go down, but ultimately it's just you don't know where it could be. I don't think the fundamentals are there, but in a month's time I couldn't tell you if it's going to be at 1 or 1 million. So it's just too risky. I wouldn't go near it. If you want to invest in kind of computer games, or digital gaming, I would be looking at places like EA Sports, Blizzard Interactions, or Blizzard Activision, Microsoft, and other such companies. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. Have a nice weekend. And as I said, if you like this video and you'd like to see more content, please click that like button.